Hello and welcome to another video. This time I'm going to be showing you another ZX81 game that I've been working on for a few days. Basically I had the idea that I'd do something original for a change the other day. So the first thing I did was I asked Google Bard to come up with an original game design based on a mishmash of two early 80s arcade games. It came up with one or two suggestions. I wasn't really happy with them. Pac-Man and Space Invaders was one. Yeah, the player can go around shooting the ghosts, maybe. Didn't really like that idea, it's not terribly original. And then he's also suggested Missile Command and Asteroids could be combined, which I think I could do, probably, but that would be a Spectrum game, I think. And this was going to be a ZX81 game, so I put my thinking cap on and tried to come up with two games I could merge. I stuck with Pac-Man for one of them, and then I thought, well, what about merging it with Frogger? Now, Frogger on the face of it doesn't seem to work with Pac-Man, but unless you start thinking about the section with the frogs jumping over the logs and over the water. You see, the logs, you can move left, right, up and down on those, and that's sort of the kind of movement you get around the maze in Pac-Man. And so the logs are kind of like spaces in the maze, and the gaps between the logs, i.e. the water, is sort of like the walls of the maze. So what if I then thought, well, I could sort of arrange a sort of a square maze with the logs going around in concentric squares, circling each other, and then for the dots I just have things on the logs that the frog could eat, like insects or beetles or something like that. And so, yeah, a new game idea took shape for the ZX81. So I'm going to show you that now. It's in a fairly late stage at the moment. It's nearing completion. So here we go. Now there you go. The player's that grey dot there. Usually starts somewhere around the top left corner. These asterisks are the beetles, if you like, the insects that you have to eat. And you can see the squares that are really like the logs in Frogger. And you have to leap 2 spaces each time. You can go up and down. So oops, lost my bearings there. So you can go left and right like that and then leap between the logs. It's very difficult. I've given the player 5 lives because it's so difficult to get to grips with, and you have to be very careful going around the corners. The timing is everything on this game. But it's fun, I think. Oh, no, I'm not going to get any of those. Oh, I see, it's so easy to die on this. Let's see if we can... Yeah, I got that one. So here we go. It is quite simple. On the first level, there are 2 ways to die. You can jump into the water, or you can run out of time. Obviously, the timer's down there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. You do get a reasonable amount of time to complete each level, but it does get trickier from levels 3 onwards. From level 3, there's a bird that flies onto the screen occasionally, and it tries to eat you. Now, on level 3 it only flies straight up or straight down, so it's quite easy to avoid, but from level 4 onwards it will track the player and it will come after him. Fortunately, the player can pick up an extra bonus, which is usually shown there between the lives and the score, and that's a decoy. You can collect a dragonfly, and then you can release the dragonfly and the bird goes after the dragonfly instead of you. So that's the other element to the game. And basically that's all there is to it. You've just got to go around eating all these beetles on these logs. So as you can see, it is... Oops, jumped into the water again. It is a sort of mixture of Pac-Man and Frogger. How frustrating. One character away. Yes. Oh no, 1 life left. Let's see if we can... progress a little further. So we've got 2 left to get. That's 1. Yeah, and then you get a bonus according to the amount of time that's left on the timer. Goes into your score. And we're on to the second level now. I'm not going to be able to get that one. So, yes, that's it's going to be called Swurlpool, I think. That's the working title. I've not heard of a game with a similar name to that, so yeah. And yeah, patrons will obviously get it first. Oh, there's the bird. Is that Oh, that must be level 2 then, that comes on, the beard. And then I'm going to probably send this to Chronosoft, or I might release it on my itch.io page. I haven't decided yet. But that's Swurlpool for you. So, yeah. Let's take a look at some of the code. This is the code that sets up the level. As you can see, everything's... well, it points to the level data, decides which level you're on. It alternates between 2 different layouts of logs. And then it goes through bit by bit because it's rotating the data and checking the carrier flag, and then either setting a log or a water character around the screen, and that's all there is to it, basically, zeros and ones. So it's quite efficient with the level design. Once it's drawn that, it then decides where to put the beetles on, and that's random every time. It just makes sure that it doesn't put a beetle on top of another beetle, so it only has to do that. And then after that, it decides to add a dragonfly at some random point on one of the logs. And yeah, that's all there is to it, really. It's quite simple. So yes, that's Swurlpool. Again, coming to the ZX81 very soon. If you'd like to see more videos like this, then like, comment, share or subscribe. It all helps the channel. Thanks.